We've put about 30 deeper holes into the project, and for us, deeper is still only down to about 200 to 300 meters. And we've started to identify some of those high-grade shoots that you see at other deposits along the trend from us.
Hi and welcome to the Assay TV. We are here at 1-to-1 Mining Investment Cape Town, and I'm delighted to be joined today by Luke Alexander. Luke is the President, CEO and Director of Newcore Gold. So thank you very much for joining us today, Luke.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Great. So I understand that the company's made some significant advances of late, so maybe we could start with a quick summary of the journey thus far.
So Newcore Gold, we're advancing the Enchi project in Ghana. It's a district scale exploration project that's fundamentally underpinned by very robust economics that have been outlined in a PEA. The company's currently trading at multi-year lows, despite all of the work that we've done on the project over the last few years. We've drilled 90,000 meters. We've put out 3 resource updates, as well as the PEA that I highlighted that outlined very robust economics. Today, we're trading at about $7 per ounce in the ground, which is less than it cost to discover those ounces, as well as in the last few years, we've raised about $39.5 million and trading around $20 million today. So it's a very attractive time to be looking at Newcore Gold as we continue to de-risk the project, but also unlock the value that there is within that district scale exploration.
And what about the team at Newcore? Could you give us some information on their expertise and their previous successes?
So our team at Newcore, we have a proven track record of ultimately making shareholders a lot of money, been involved in a number of very successful companies within the mining space. My personal background, I was in the investment banking side of the business for about 20 years, advising different ASX, TSX, London listed companies on different mining transactions and projects around the world. Our chairman, Doug Forrester, our lead director, Blaine Johnson, they're serial entrepreneurs in the mining space. They founded Newmarket Gold, which was a tremendous success, took that from a $10 million market cap company to a $1.4 billion sale to Kirkland Lake. Caliber Mining's another one, which we've been involved in and is now growing to 500,000 ounces of production. So it's a team that ultimately has a proven track record in the mining space, who obviously see the tremendous value that there is within our Enchi project, but are also truly aligned with shareholders. So we own 20% of Newcore Gold. That's money that we've invested alongside investors on a number of different capital raises over the last number of years.
You mentioned that your Enchi project is located in Ghana, which is obviously Africa's top gold producer. Could you tell us what it's like operating there as a jurisdiction?
Yeah, so Ghana's a great jurisdiction to operate in. I mean, you've got 2 prolific gold belts in the country. We're on the CEFWE Bibiani belt, which is one of the 2 belts that I've referred to. We've got a number of multi-million ounce deposits and mines to the north of us. What I always say as a single asset CEO is, don't listen to what I say in terms of the country, but look at what the major mining companies are doing. You've currently got 3 of the top 10 largest gold producers on the planet there with significant operations: Gold Fields, Anglo Gold, Newmont. Newmont is investing another $1 billion into their Ahafo project, which again sits just to the north of us. So I think that speaks for itself in terms of what a great jurisdiction it is. As you said, it is Africa's largest gold producer. So from that perspective, we've also got a huge amount of talented, people in country that we can obviously draw upon as we develop and move our project forward.
Sounds like a great place to be. And can you comment on the exploration potential and the district scale of the project?
Yeah, absolutely. So what we've outlined to date is we're sitting at 740,000 ounces of indicated resource. We've then got an additional 970,000 ounces of inferred resource. And if you look at that pit constrained resource that we've got today, the average vertical depth of the pits is only down to 80 meters. So we've really just scratched the surface. And what we're outlining within the updated PEA that we're putting out in the first half of this year is a very simple open pit heap leach project. So again, focused on that heap leach material near surface. When you look at the greenstone hosted deposits along the CEFWE Bibiani belt from us and throughout Ghana, Where you see a number of them really grow in size and increase in grade is as you start to drill deeper and you find these high grade shoots that extend at depth. We've put about 30 deeper holes into the project, and for us, deeper is still only down to about 200 to 300 meters. And we've started to identify some of those high grade shoots that you see at other deposits along the trend from us.
So what's Newcore's focus at Enchi been over the past 12 months?
So over the past 12 months, we've been taking a number of steps to meaningfully de-risk the project. Over the last 3 years, we've drilled 94,000 meters on the project. So that's the most that's ever been drilled on the project. We've incorporated that into obviously resource updates, PEAs. But as we move towards a production decision, there's a number of other de-risking elements that are important to focus on. So since our last PEA update, we've completed over 20 column tests on the project to test the metallurgy and the recoveries. The average of those tests is around 92%. So that highlights that it's very amenable to a heap leach project. We've also completed 2 bulk samples, so 15-ton samples, which also came in at 92% recoveries. Those were from our 2 largest deposits, Boeing and Seum. So that further validates all of the column test work and the bottle roll test work that we've done. So metallurgy is a crucial element for any project as you move it towards a construction decision. So that's something we focused a lot of our attention on. We've also started to test some of the sulfide material from a metallurgical perspective. Last year, we put out some results that highlighted that the sulfides at our NIAM deposit were recovering about 91, 92% within the sulfides. So that's work that we're continuing to follow up on. We've completed an environmental and social baseline study, which is one of the key things required for applying for a mining lease. We're in the process of doing condemnation drilling across the area where we're looking at putting the heap leach pad. We are also in the process of completing a bunch of hydrological and geotech work on the project as well. So all of those things, may not be as exciting from a market perspective, but they're crucial for us as a company to move the project towards a construction decision.
Great. So it sounds like there's lots going on, and the PEA that you've mentioned a couple of times is certainly sounds like that's your kind of near-term catalyst. Can you elaborate on what investors should be looking out for on that front?
Yeah. So the PEA, as I highlighted, it's going to incorporate a larger overall resource, but also a resource that's been de-risked by moving a significant number of the ounces from the inferred to the indicated category. So larger and more de-risked ounces will be feeding that PEA. As a result of it being obviously a larger resource, our expectation is that we will see a slightly larger production profile that will obviously drive the economics for the project. And then also, a number of those elements I talked about in terms of the work that we've been doing over the last couple of years to de-risk the project will obviously also feed that PEA. So we're really excited about what's going to come out of that PEA. We are working with Lycopodium, who's a very well-known engineering firm, as well as Micon, which is another well-known engineering firm. Lycopodium has been the gold standard in West Africa, and we think that will give a tremendous amount of confidence for investors and others who are looking at our project. If you look at the NPV that we had in our 2021 PEA, just to give you some perspective, at an $1,850 gold price, we had an after-tax NPV of $300 million, after-tax IRR of 54%. So $100 million to build the project, 100,000 ounces of production for an after-tax NPV of $300 million. Those are very attractive economics for a project. When you look at where the company's trading today, again, the entire market has sold off in the exploration development space, but our project, is trading at less than 0.1 times the NPV of the project. So we see a tremendous amount of upside potential as we release this updated PEA.
If you could summarise Newcore Gold's investment proposition in one sentence, what would it be?
Newcore Gold is backed by a proven team who are truly aligned through our 20% ownership in the business that is trading at levels that we haven't seen in years, despite all of the work that's been done to de-risk the project. I see the market returning, and when it does, all of that work that's been done to date to get reflected in the share price, which will hopefully see it climb a lot quicker than others.
Excellent. Well, thanks so much, Luke. We really look forward to hearing more in the coming months.
Thank you very much.